What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files Going Deeper edition. I'm excited for our episode today. We have the wonderfully charming Mary Fitzgerald from Selling Sunset with us.
Biggest sweetheart.
Why'd you shake your head?
No, I was. It's like in disbelief. Like, oh, it was so good.
I was like, did I say her name wrong?
No.
Yes, Mary is with us. She is just a wonderfully nice, delightful
She
person.
was fabulous.
We also are debuting a new segment on this podcast. If you haven't listened to other episodes this week, we're not doing a mediation call today. We're gonna spice it up. We're gonna do texting office hours, which was born out of us. We explain it later in the episode of securing date number 2 for Allie, who had decided that it was over and done with, and we brought it back from the dead.
Revived.
Well, and from my perspective, I felt like I was giving it my all and like not getting anything back. And then it wasn't until you guys were looking through it and you're like, no, actually, like I didn't realize I wasn't like giving as much as I thought I was. Because I think I was coming at it from a point of like already being frustrated. So I was like, gosh, I'm like still giving, even though like when you read it back, it's like, oh no, you were pretty like curt.
I also think, whenever you're like thinking about a situation that you're involved in and at the center of, like I always err on the side of kind of like trying to be protective of myself, which can mean like interpreting things like through like a bias in that direction. And so when you have like a separate of someone who's like not invested and not vulnerable and not like in a position where they're like rejection is on the table, et cetera, it's like
you don't want to seem too needy. You want to sound chill. You want to like play it cool, which all plays a role in what we decide to text, and then we're worried about what they think, et cetera, et cetera. But early on, we often make the mistake of having these expectations for how we hope things play out. And we don't have the rapport with these people to communicate expectations. And what I mean by like, you have one date with someone, it's kind of nuts to say, I kind of hope things work out kind of thing, especially if they haven't, it's touch and go. And then sometimes we still have these expectations that will come out via how we communicate that could come across to the other person as confusing or unclear or passive aggressive or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Because I think it's hard because I think dating is kind of inherently goal oriented, even if that goal is not a long-term relationship, although I think for a lot of people it is. Like I think it's hard because when you're goal oriented, like the second you see someone, you're kind of like thinking about like, are they going to make me achieve this goal? And it's like very easy to, instead of like kind of feeling stuff out, I think it's just so easy to get invested in the idea of having a goal fulfilled, regardless of the person themselves, is how I feel.
Anyways, sometimes we just need a little help with our texts.
Sometimes you think it's dead and gone, and then, like Jesus on Easter, in comes the incoming text. And if I wish you could have all seen Nick's reaction when the response text came in.
We were all
Nick
like
was
so
excited
antsy and like staring at your phone,
bolted out of his chair.
And we're not going to reveal the text that we sent, but it got an instant response.
And
this is a boy who's been like lagging a little bit with his response time, and we got instant response.
He stopped whatever he was doing.
That he did.
So we have a track record of excellence.
1 out of 1. 100%.
We also have an update from a recent mediation call. If you guys remember, it was a couple that was deciding where they wanted to move. He was the doctor, and she loved Southern California. And she writes in, hi, Nick and team, this is Sarah, and I just wanted to give you guys an update since our mediation episode, where we were constantly fighting over the deal that we made on where we were going to live long-term. Southern California beach life versus Pacific North forest life, which, she made that deal if you move out, and she just assumed he would fall in love with Southern California. He did not. We ended up following a few pieces of Nick's and Chris's advice and have an awesome update. We threw out the idea of the deal, and I made a conscious effort to shift my attitude and stop trying to convince Patrick to love SoCal. Instead, I channeled that positivity and passion into planning a road trip up to Northern California, where we just got back from a trip and both ended up falling in love with multiple cities that we have the perfect combination of pine trees and the beach. Instead of bickering about pine trees versus the beach, we spent the 10-hour trip back home excitingly planning our future in Northern California. Thanks so much, Nick and Chris, for the amazing advice and outside perspective. It really helped us get back together as a team and has taken a huge weight off our shoulders. Can't thank you enough.
That's such a good
We just
compromise.
saved a relationship. I like that.
Saving lives.
Good for that. Great job. Thanks for the update. Next week, freestyle, maybe a surprise guest. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to ask you guys what you guys think. I have a friend. She works at a place where celebrities frequent.
It's Craig's.
Well, no, it's not.
Oh.
But Craig's would be an example.
Are we talking like nightclub, restaurant?
Yes.
Okay.
But she's gotten to know these people and she's also been following the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. And I believe she's met both of them. And she just has a lot of stories about people. She also has an amazing British accent.
Win-win.
So I've thought of having her on to give her 2 cents on the trial as someone who's she just always she's one of those people who just knows so many celebrities. And I'm just wondering, I was on the phone with her yesterday and I was like, is there a world where you come on and share your insight as someone who's met some of these people? I don't know. And we have Erica Priscilla and her husband Scott will be with us for Going Deeper. I met them at Coachella. They're awesome. They're hilarious. If you don't know them, you're going to want to tune in. They'll be with us on Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to that episode. Let's get to Mary. Mary, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I think you're our second. We had Chrishell on a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Friend of show.
Friend of show. Chrishell's been on a couple times.
A few times. At least twice.
At least
Yeah.
twice. She did an
Maybe
Ask Nick.
3. Yeah.
And then we did the... Chrishell's
I
on-
love Chrishell.
Yeah, we love Chrishell too.
We could talk about her all day.
I did a live on TikTok yesterday, and I was watching Selling Sunset, and I had in the background, and the people on live said, Mary's having an amazing season.
Aw.
Is that how do you feel about this season? I feel like you're like a star, like you're a focal point in the best possible way this season.
Really? I have not heard that.
No.
No. I mean, I'm happy with the season and
Okay.
how I'm portrayed and stuff in the season because of my promotion and I think just in general. But no, I've heard that actually opposite.
You have?
Yeah.
Well,
Where
I mean,
I heard it's all about Christine and her drama, and then Jason and Chrishell's relationship, and everybody else kind of was on the back burner. But
I guess I get
don't
that,
really
but
care.
maybe it's coming from a place of those other 2 storylines you mentioned,
Yeah.
especially, and we'll certainly get into that, the Christine of it all. It's I think we want something to root for.
Yeah.
It's tough to want to root for Chrishell and that relationship because we know it's over.
Yeah.
So now we kind of watch it more through a nitpicking lens
Yeah.
of where did it go wrong kind of thing. Right? So I don't know. I feel like that's maybe where it's coming from.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I think it was a good season. So regardless of what happened, we filmed so much too. And so there were so many sales and so many things that happened, and it all got cut because no one anticipated at the beginning of the season, they're showing Chrishell and Jason and their relationship, and then, we're filming all this stuff, and then they break up, and so then they're like, oh, hang on. So then they're trying to film all this, and all the other real estate stuff got cut.
Got cut.
Yeah.
Do you get annoyed by that?
No, I don't think I'm annoyed. I don't get annoyed, but I
Disappointed?
do a little disappointed. Yeah, because we get proud of our accomplishments and
Sure.
ourselves, and you want that to be shown, and I wish it would have been, but at the end of the day, it's all about making a good show, and so my sales are still there, whether or not they're shown or not.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's a little cranky when they're tired.
100%. I've been
And
cranky all week.
Miserable to be around. So get some good sleep. And if you don't have a Helix mattress, you're not getting the best possible sleep you can. Because once again, Natalie and I left town. And we stayed like in the place we stayed at had like a nice mattress. It was like some sort of like memory foam, whatever. It was not Helix Sleep. It was not my mattress, and we suffered for it. I took the Helix quiz, and I was matched with a mattress that fit my need. I'm a side sleeper.
Same.
I think I have the Midnight. But they have mattresses for whether you're a side sleeper, sleep on your back, sleep on your stomach, feel like firm, soft, something in the middle. They have something for everybody. And you don't have to take my word for it. They were voted best overall mattress in 2020 by GQ and Wired Magazine. They have a 10-year warranty, and you can try it for 100 nights risk-free. Don't take my word for it. They also will give you up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/VIALL. That is helixsleep.com/VIALL for $200 off and 2 free pillows. There is like no reason not to try a Helix mattress now. If you want to pay off your student loans faster, listen up. Let's talk about student debt. You could potentially save thousands with refinancing. Federal student loan payments are on hold, but with rates this low, now is the time to refinance. A road trip, a couch, a savings account. If you could save on your student loans, what would you do with that extra money? Well, limitless options, probably.
A dog?
You
You could do
shirt.
so much.
Earnest was voted best student loan refinancing overall by NerdWallet, and NerdWallet, they don't mess around. If they say something's good, you know it's good. Earnest has some of the lowest rates, flexible payments, and an in-house team ready to help. With Earnest, you can change your interest rate, get a lower monthly payment, and never pay fees, not even late fees. By refinancing, you can reduce your loan term, save money, and combine multiple loans into a simple monthly payment. With Earnest, it only takes 2 minutes to see what your new rate could be, and there's no credit impact. And right now, Earnest is offering our listeners a $100 cash bonus, refinancing your student debt at earnest.com/VIALL. Not available in all states. Once again, you get a $100 cash bonus when you visit earnest.com/VIALL to refinance your student loan. Visit earnest.com/VIALL for more details. Not available in all states. Terms and conditions apply. Earnest student loan refinancing made by Earnest Operations LLC, NMLS. Pound 1204917, California Financing Law, license number 6054788, 535 Mission Street, San Francisco, California 94105. Visit earnest.com/licenses for full list of licenses. What was a story that you were hoping made the cutting room floor that didn't?
There's a couple of them because I had quite a few sales, but and then a couple of clients that were on there that are really fun, cool clients. And I think that the house that Emma and Chrishell went to, where Emma wanted to sell, she wanted to buy it for her parents. That was actually the one that I sold. And my clients came, they filmed with me, and they're like such a cute couple. And it kind of told the story about what happens in real estate because I was showing them down in OC for a while. And there were so many things that had happened. And I thought it gave a really good insight as to what happens during transactions. And we were in escrow like 4 different homes. And something so random happened in each one, but it also showed why inspections and getting all the disclosures are essential. And so there was a lot of drama in that where I always like to take it back to the real estate drama and not like the
relationship.
The catty drama between the girls. And so I thought that was going to be really good, and it was fun to show them around. I know they were excited about the house, my clients I'm talking about, and so I was kind of bummed that didn't show, that they showed Chrishell and Emma doing the walkthrough and not like me actually selling it and beating out like Emma's offer and stuff like that, because that was fun and it was entertaining.
Does that stuff get personal since you like were beating out a colleague's offer?
No, Emma and I are good friends. I mean, she was bummed for sure. I mean, she was really bummed. I felt so bad and they didn't show me ringing the bell, because even when I rang it, I was like, I'm so sorry. But I was super excited. But at the same time, I'm like, I still did the right thing for my clients, and I still sold it. So
speaking of real estate deals, I mean, I gotta kind of get into this scene, but when Chrishell, not Jason,
Brett.
When they kind of went in that deal together, and they had the secondary, like Brett was more, I guess, aggressive, you know, about his client. He wanted to raise the price, and then he wanted no contingencies. Yeah. And as someone who doesn't know much about real estate, other than my own purchasing experiences, I totally was Team Brett, even though he might have been a bit harsh. I was like, you have another buyer with a higher offer. Like, why? Explain, where was Chrishell coming from? And did you ultimately decided with Brett, though?
Yeah, I did.
In that moment.
Yeah, I love Chrishell, but yeah, I did. I was like, I have to back Brett up on this. I mean, this is a very interesting market, and you have to take advantage of it. If you're representing your seller properly, then, and you have an offer that's higher and backup, and they are a legit interested buyer, then why would you not? You either win regardless, because you get a higher offer and you tell them there's no credits. And so that person is dying to get in there. So why would you give away? You have a lower offer and then give away more money? Why would you do that? So I mean, I get it. Like, the person in there, it's not normal just to be like, nope, you get nothing. But in this market, if you have the backup offer that's higher, be like, if you don't want to do this, then we get a better offer. So take it or leave it.
Do you enjoy being a manager now?
I do, but I think
what's your favorite?
Christine is my least favorite. Trying to deal with the drama and putting my feelings aside, because I have personal feelings about it, and I want to defend my friends and defend and agree with them when I know they're right. And I can't. I have to put that aside and be like, okay, I have no opinion right now. What's best for the office? How do I create peace, and how do I fix this situation between everybody?
So did you find yourself in situations where the choice for the office was siding with Christine versus like the personal side of siding with the other women?
Me siding with Christine? Oh God, no.
No, but like you.
I think the opposite of more like not necessarily being able to call Christine out to the degree you might want to.
I have to be professional and not say my personal opinion and get wound up about it. I have to just be like, okay, I'm take my Mary hat off and my friend hat off, and I put my boss hat on, and I have no personal opinions. I'm like, what is right and wrong? How do I fix this? And how do I create a better work environment for everybody? And so that's what's hard. I know I'm almost always, well, actually always, have my own opinion, which is also in line with every single other person at the brokerage.
So are we sitting with Mary or the boss?
Oh, you're sitting with Mary, right?
All right. So
I'm not in the office, so
let's talk some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what is I mean, I've never met Christine. I would love to get her on this show and get her point of view. But watching it back, we talked about this yesterday. Yeah. It's just like, at this point, like, as someone who likes to be blunt and honest, and I hate it when people are overly nice and try to get everyone to like them. So there's aspects of Christine at first that you can she mixes it up.
Yeah.
You know, she adds some flavor to the conversations, but the stuff we're seeing this season, it's just more, you seem to just be alienating your friends.
Yeah.
You know, we're none of us are psychologists here.
Yeah.
So, but why do you think she is doing what she's doing? And just to
that's the $1 million
dispel
question.
any rumors, this is just this is not like an act she's putting on for the show.
We don't know.
You honestly don't know.
We don't know, and it can't it can't be for the show because she's doing it outside of the show.
Yeah.
When the cameras are off, she does even worse stuff when the cameras are off. So. But the thing is, we all loved the Christine in season 1. She was, and I used to live with her. I loved her, but she is just she's changed, and the funny part, she always has she's funny, she's outgoing. I think that part is good for the show, but what's not good is we all got into this to show that women can do anything. You can be a boss. You can lift each other up. You don't have to tear people down on Instagram and everything. Everyone's trying to tear each other down to make themselves feel better. You don't have to do that. You can, women supporting women and women empowerment and all that. We want to promote that. And so I feel like it's kind of taken a step back from that because we can't control what she's doing. and sing. And so it's like, and it's confusing because she wants to be like this boss bitch kind of thing, and all she's doing is just being a bitch. And I mean, that's like, and so we're all just like, why can't you just do what Davina did? Like, you realize you are alienating people by your behavior. And if you don't want that, if you don't want the negative comments from viewers, if you don't want like your colleagues to be like, I prefer not to hang out with you outside the office, then change your behavior. It's not that difficult. Apologize and just don't do it anymore. And Davina, like, she stepped up, and she has impressed everybody. Like, none of us thought she could change this much this quickly. And she's doing it just because she did some self-reflection and was like, okay, I don't like the way I'm coming across. I didn't realize I was doing that. I don't want to alienate everybody that I work with. I want to be friends. And so she's killed it. Why can't Christine do that? I don't know.
So how many people have like tried to like reason with Christine?
Everybody.
Like everyone.
Yeah.
And you used to live with her.
Yeah.
What was your big falling out with her?
There wasn't one specific one, although I don't even talk about some things that she's done personally that I found out about, and I was like, seriously?
We can't share it.
I mean, there's no point. I mean, she does stuff just to hurt people. She'll leak stories about stuff like personal. She'll leak things. She just does some messed up stuff, and it's like, why would you do that? And then she'll say, oh, but I want to be friends. I'm really trying to do something different, and she doesn't. She just does messed up stuff.
So it really is just kind of chaotic.
Yeah, it's beyond chaotic.
And it's everyone feels like they've tried to like see her side, so to speak, where it's just kind of like
we've all tried to help, and then she just stabs everybody in the back and just does stuff where everyone's just like, enough. Like, we've tried, and then now everyone's just like, you know what? She's not even a part of our lives. We don't care anymore. And the storyline to us is like super old because we're like, well, I mean, you're not part of our life. We all hang out. We all have fun. We do like there's real estate drama and drama within like other stuff like in our personal lives that they could show. But just with Christine, it's like, we're so over it. We really don't care anymore.
Is she done with the show? Is she going to be done?
I have no idea what she's doing. I have no clue.
How does it work with like Jason and Brett? Like, at some point, I mean, I know there's a TV show that you're making, and we love the drama, and obviously, like, is that and I am curious, like, where does like Jason and Brett draw the line between like, hey, we have a business to run versus is it Netflix or whatever production coming in is saying we have a show to make?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of both. I mean, Jason, there's a little bit of both because of the show being there. I mean, we kind of have to tread lightly because they get a decision too, but Jason gets say over who's at his brokerage. This is a real brokerage. We all do this, and her behavior it makes us look bad, and it's we can't tolerate it. So we have to take steps to protect the brokerage. Whatever Netflix and production and everybody wants to do, if they want to keep her on the show in a different aspect, I don't know, that's up to them. It's not in our control, and I don't know what they're going to do. But
if
as
it was
far
your
as
decision,
that's a tough one. I mean, at the brokerage, absolutely not. She cannot be at the brokerage if it were my decision. And I mean, I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say like regarding that, but if it were my decision, absolutely not. On the show, I don't know. I know she's good for the show. In one aspect, but I feel like it kind of still takes away from like the positivity and the point of the show. So, but I know she's good for it. People love her outgoing, crazy antics and her wild clothes and stuff like that. So I'm not saying that she's not beneficial, but at a certain point, I mean, from all of the comments that I see, that people are saying that everyone's just over it. And so I don't know how much is just like they're saying that to me because they know like we're all at that point. I'm sure she gets other comments too. Who knows?
What did you make of her not attending the reunion taping? And I know there's been some controversy over whether, in fact, she did have COVID or not.
Once again, I think she doesn't show up to a lot of things, and I think it was very unprofessional, very disrespectful to not show up. We were all tested on Tuesday, and then on Friday we were all negative. Amanda wasn't, so we all tested again. But Amanda zoomed in, and you could tell she was sick. She said she had COVID. COVID team, we get tested by our own COVID team. They went over there. She wouldn't open the door, and then
she could have zoomed in. To your point.
Yeah, but she
didn't even want to get tested by the team.
But who did she get tested by? Like, we have our team.
So you don't believe?
No, and then she shows up on another set 2 days later. So either she was irresponsible, disrespectful, and unprofessional, or like everything towards that production team and putting them at risk and not saying anything, or she was lying for us. Either way, it's wrong. That's my opinion.
Take it away.
Olive and June, I liked it so much that I asked for more stuff. And
they sent it.
Your nails look great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The good thing about Olive and June is that they're like, basically, manicure nails are different than at-home nails for the most part. But like, going to the salon is expensive. It's sometimes a hassle. And so what they do is they give you these nail kits that way you can have like manicure quality, but do them yourself. And they have not only awesome, like kind of traditional paint-on nails, they have press-ons, which I had never tried before and am personally a huge fan of. They have all these sick designs. The colors are really beautiful. And also their top coat is like the best top coat I've ever used. Like my nails.
Look at that. That's glossy.
I've had them done for like 2 weeks and they've barely chipped. It's a really good. I genuinely like them so much.
The best part about their nail kits is because you have everything you need in the kit. And I feel like sometimes nail polish brands or press-on brands like don't actually care for your nails or do all the steps together. So you're going to like a drugstore and you're picking up a top coat and you're picking up a file. Like it's all included for you, and probably a great way to travel too, because then you just grab the one thing and you know you're good to go.
Well, you heard it from these ladies right here. Natalie's also a big fan. Getting beautiful salon perfect nails at home is now a dream come true. And with Olive and June, your new nail life is here. Visit oliveandjune.com/VIALL for 20% off your first Mani system. That's OLIVEANDJUNE.com/VIALL for 20% off your first Mani system. oliveandjune.com/VIALL.
What is your like, whether you're filming or not, it might be different, but like how frequently are you in the office, or do you see the other girls? Like, are there certain people that you really only see during filming? Or are you like seeing each other frequently when you're not filming?
We say, oh yeah, we're all really good friends. I was just, we were just in the desert. I stayed with Heather and Tarek at their house, and with Romaine and I went with them for Stagecoach, and we stayed with them. Jason and Amanda came out, and so we all hung out. Brett wasn't able to make it, but yeah, Chrishell, Emma, Heather, Tarek, Romaine, that whole group, we typically hang out like all the time. Chelsea has been talking to us a lot more. I think Emma and Chrishell like see her more than I do. But I think she's a great addition to the show, though. I like Chelsea.
And I feel like, and you spoke so much about how there's so much like uplifting and supporting each other. I am curious, because it's obviously an incredibly competitive environment. Yeah. How do you navigate your own competitive spirit with these like friendships that you want to maintain and show respect and love for?
I don't know. I don't think it causes any problem for me. I mean, because business is business as long as you treat someone with respect. And yeah, these are my friends, these are my colleagues, but it's business at the end of the day. We're representing our client, so you have to do what's in their best interest. It's nothing personal. As long as you don't do something like underhanded, then I mean that would be messed up. But none of us are like that. We try our best. We represent our clients to the best of our ability, and may the winner ring the bell. I don't know.
What does it entail when we like add new women each season? Like obviously we started with Chrishell joining season 1, but we've had Emma join and Vanessa and now Chelsea.
Yeah.
Is that a decision from production to bring someone in? Is that a decision from the brokerage? Is it both? Have they worked there before? Are they a cast member? Like
both.
Okay.
Both. There's a couple people that I think Amanda, when she joined, that was a personal thing because she's been doing the staging and everything for a while, and Jason keeps saying you should get your license so you can do both. Like if you meet a client, you can not only sell them a home, but then you can stage it, like get ready for the listing. That you can like create your own
Like
furniture.
a one-stop shop.
Exactly. So we talked her into getting her license. She still likes design way more, but she's too creative and artsy, and she's like, I think I'm gonna stick with this side of it. But she's still doing stuff, but she really likes the creativity.
Has the show ever considered like incorporating more like celebrity buyers,
Yeah,
where it's just like,
They've had some, yeah.
but have that be more of a thing?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, the more
It'd be kind of fun, like kind of integrate it more, like
we've had quite a few of them. I
Who are
think
the
it's
ones
good.
I'm missing?
Like Karamo came on, which was a fun like Netflix
Did he buy a
hybrid.
show?
Yeah.
Christine
I mean, did he buy
toured
a house? I'm
property.
sorry.
Yeah,
to buy
I
a
did
show.
French Montana.
Okay.
You had someone season 1, that actor. I'm blanking on his name.
Tay Diggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Big Bachelor fan.
and then let's see. And then Chrishell has had a couple NBA players.
Chrishell was touring with Larsa Pippen for a while, trying to find her a place.
Oh, yeah.
'cause she
Okay.
wanted the basketball court for her son.
Yeah, and then she just had
I just know
he's
every episode.
Thomas Bryant, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, so she just
So
had
a lot
him.
already.
Yeah, and then we have quite a few. And then the bigger the show gets, the more celebrities like they see like they're not portrayed poorly, and so they're willing to come on. Sometimes the problem is with celebrities is they have competing contracts, so they can't be on the contract that they're in. Like if it's on a different network, then a lot of times they can't do it. Even Tarek and Heather, like he can only be on a certain number of times on our show because it competes with theirs, and or same thing for her and we have to try to find some middle ground if especially when you're in a relationship with someone. It's like, well,
Is that why we didn't see Justin on the show back in the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not really sure if he could. I'm not really sure about that, but I do know he had a competing contract.
A lot was made kind of in jest of Jason's phone call and the picture. I was on a very different reality TV show, so things are done differently. I just remember watching season 1 and Jason was a phone call, and I just thought to myself, this is some good acting by Jason, because like this is definitely a fake phone call. This was my opinion.
Well, we just did on the way in the Sprinter. We actually did something super funny because they just keep saying stuff like this over and over, and we're getting ripped apart in the media about it. So we just did a video, just debunking the whole thing, and I have it on here. I don't know. Jason said he hasn't posted it yet, but I actually have it on my phone. I can show it to you guys.
What's the video?
Yeah. So basically, Jason is sitting across from Amanda, and he's like, Amanda calls Jason. She's like, "Hey Jay, what's up?" And they're both on speaker. And he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, I want to send you a video really fast." And so he like scrolls through. He goes to his camera. He's like, "Oh wait, I'm gonna take you off speaker." Hey, so, and you can still see the video on the thing, but he's talking to her, and then she's like, "Oh wait, okay, hang on, I'm gonna take a picture of Romaine right now, and I'm gonna send it to you." He's like, "Oh yeah, I see it. Oh, that's really great." And you can hear
we tested that earlier today on the episode. We did that. I still think it happens because it's a reality TV show. Because I'm thinking, of course they fake phone calls, and maybe you guys don't, but I'm thinking, well, if I'm a client, I don't want my phone conversation.
Well, we tell them
to be on the other half.
No, we tell them before. I mean, there's sometimes they don't want to be on it all.
Yeah.
And so we'll just be like, "Oh, hey, I just got off the phone with my client," and we'll say what the actual conversation was. But sometimes they don't want to be involved. But then sometimes we're like, "Hey, we're getting ready to film. Would you mind, like, just this is what we're going to be talking about? Do you care if you're on camera, just on audio?" And they're like, "No, it's cool." So then we give them a heads up. So we're not going to blindside any of our clients. That's really bad for business.
So 100% of the phone conversations we've seen on the show have all been real phone conversations, which I also don't like, by the way. I don't care if they're fake.
Almost all of them, yeah. Sometimes, there's sometimes we'll use their assistant, or we'll use somebody else instead, where they'll have a representative of their team. So everything's not exactly, like, that's not the buyer. It's their manager goes instead of the client or the whatever, because they want to be kept private. They don't want people to know where they live. They don't want like anything. So we'll work around it where we can still tell the story, but it's one of their a member of their team that is in place of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just, of course, it's like you guys have to make a TV show, and sometimes you have to.
And everybody doesn't want to be out there, have all their private stuff out there.
Sometimes you have to drink out of gold goblets because,
Continuity.
continuity. When is the reunion air?
May 6th.
What can we expect? What can you tease?
Ooh. I think it is going to be, from what we were told from some of the people, it is the most emotional, entertaining, kind of eye-opening reunion. Like where it's a mature reunion, like where there's not the cat fighting. I mean, there's arguments, there's like stuff like that, but I think it's more like seeing what has happened and seeing the relationships between everybody, and there's like there's one like oh my god moment that
Who's involved in?
I'm not gonna say, but there is a breaking news on it.
Someone's pregnant?
Cannot say, but everyone's gonna have to watch because
I
it is
felt like
big,
I felt like she
news.
had to like pretend not make eye contact.
No,
No,
I'm just gonna let everybody watch, but it is everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, yeah, it's mind blowing. Like, I mean, I knew, but I didn't know that it was gonna be revealed like here, and I was like, oh my god, seriously, oh my god,
Someone's
and
pregnant.
I was like, oh, but then even like. There's very emotional parts too, where I mean, like many of us were like just crying, and it was, but you see like when people that are like, hey, did Jason and Chrishell fake this relationship for the show? You guys are gonna see, like, I mean, you cannot.
Get into it a little bit.
You can't make up the emotions that were involved in, and I think it'll show people like there's so much drama on the show, but there's so much love too between so many of us. Oh, it just breaks my heart every.
Is there a reason that we didn't? You said you filmed so much and so much had to be cut.
Yeah.
Is there a reason that we didn't see their actual breakup? It went from Jason talking to you and Amanda to Chrishell informing Emma, and I felt like we kind of like that would have been good to see if it was filmed.
Sure,
it was,
but,
I think it was too
They
emotional
probably
at
just
that time.
did it
Yeah.
and didn't want to recreate it because
Yeah.
it is their
They
personal
couldn't.
life.
Totally.
Yeah, they couldn't. It was too emotional. They couldn't recreate
But also,
it with
like,
each
how do you
other.
do that too? It's not like The Bachelor where it's just like, hey, by the way, I'm going to break up with my girlfriend. Do you guys want to film this shit?
Yeah.
And like the only way to actually have done that would have been to do what like Ari did to Becca, where he blindsided her with cameras and be like, oh, by the way, I have a
I'm
film.
ambushing you
No,
before I break
Truly,
your heart
that's
and
like
embarrass
the
you.
only, that's the only way to do it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you dated Jason. You're friends
Yeah.
with Chrishell. You work for Jason.
Yeah.
Like team in the like who did you empathize with more in the breakup?
Oh, I don't take sides in it. I honestly, like, I know it sounds like a lame answer, but I love both of them, and I just wanted to help see if they could come to a resolution, and I talked to Jason about it a lot. Like if there's any way, like tried to help him get his mind around being a dad and being ready to go. He would be so amazing. He really would.
So that was the big
but-
thing why they broke up. Like
Yeah.
you didn't want to.
Yeah.
Commit,
That was
really.
it.
Mhm.
That was why they broke up. He realized that he was not ready
Just kind of a
to.
fuck boy at heart.
No, he just like. I was shocked that he went this far. Like he.
Well, because that's the reason you two broke up. You said like
Right.
back in season 1, you were like, we dated for a year, but he,
Yeah.
Mr. Commitment issues. He didn't want to settle down,
Right.
bachelor at heart.
Right.
So I was wondering, like, did you think this was going to be the different one?
Yeah, I did.
Why?
Because he was so different with her. He was. I mean, they would still be together if I think if she didn't want to have kids right away, then they would still be together. They are a great match. They have so much respect for each other, had such an amazing relationship with each other. But they both did the right thing. She was honest with herself. She wasn't going to compromise any longer. She's at an age that she just didn't want to compromise what she wants in life. And he was doing the right thing and was being fair and honest with her when he realized I'm not ready yet and probably won't be for at least a couple years. He told her. And so they just made a mature decision based on what they need and want in their own lives. And so it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking for them and for everybody that loved them because they were so amazing together, but they did the right thing. It doesn't mean it's not sad, you know?
Yeah.
So
Who do you think was more heartbroken?
they both went through it.
Okay.
They watched the reunion. I think Jason is still like, he's still processing and still like, you know, May 6th, watch the reunion. It's only a couple days away. Yeah, everyone will see, and I think it'll be very, very eye-opening for everybody. You're going to see a different side
Of Jason.
You're going to see you're going to see a different side that is what we see, like as his really good friends, and why as his ex-girlfriends, why we are all friends. Like the girl that married us on this show, that's his other ex-girlfriend. And so
He's got a lot of ex-girlfriends.
yeah, I know. She works at our brokerage too. But we became friends too. I was scared to meet her when we first started dating. I was scared, but we became like super good friends. She married us, like Romaine and I, and then she works with all of us. But this is why I think people will start seeing like where it's not so weird, like that we all hang out, because after a breakup, like there's so much love still. It's just like we all could look at what we're capable of. We're all different. We all want different things. It doesn't mean that like the other person's not a good person. It just means we're not right for each other, or not
Sure.
right for each other right now, or whatever it is.
If you were to play therapist, why do you think Jason is so reluctant to settle down?
Jason and Brett are both the same way. I really don't know. I think they just it's just who they are. Some people are like super big family guys. They want a family. It means so much to them. Some guys want careers and that's all that matters to them. It's just who they are. But their dad was like a bachelor for a very, very long time too. But he's now engaged and settled down and the happiest he's ever been. But he's like, 70 something? So I don't know. Maybe they'll hit that point sooner than later. But
And both the brothers
know.
are in the same
they're
spot.
exactly the same.
Yeah, because Brett broke up. I forget his girlfriend's name. She was in Europe with you guys.
Tina.
Did they break up as well?
Yeah, but they're still really good friends.
Okay.
She hangs out and goes to events with us all the time. She is awesome. Everybody loves Tina. Yeah, she still hangs out with us like constantly.
Do they kind of follow suit, Brett and Jason, when, like, if one breaks up with their girlfriend, do you think?
Yeah, they tend to. I don't know if they mean to do. I don't think they mean to do that, but they're both like they're very different in certain ways, but they're very similar too. Where it's like that twin aspect. It's like they both almost instinctually feel what each other's feeling, and somehow like
if one of them actually gets married or has a kid, I feel like the other one will.
Yeah.
Shortly thereafter.
Maybe Jason, in my opinion, would be the first one to do that. Brett, maybe he would. I don't know.
Why do you think Jason would be the first one?
He would at least be in a serious relationship, probably. But
why do you think Jason would be the first one?
I just think he wants it more. He really he wants it more, and he's
Chrishell maybe opened the door to that.
Yes, yeah. Chrishell changed him.
So now he's closer. He wasn't all the way there, but
yeah, he's not there yet. But I think he's closer. Where sometimes, and again, like people are in your lives for a reason, and whether or not like he wasn't ready yet, and they wanted different things. But people are in each other's lives for a reason, and it takes you on to whatever is supposed to be, and it makes you who you're supposed to be in the future, and like
Do you think Rochelle would take him back if he begged and said he was ready to have kids? It's just your opinion. You could be wrong. We won't hold you to it.
I'm gonna just not answer that.
Come on.
I can't answer it.
What you think?
I can't. Yeah, I
Should
can't.
we call her? Friend of show, Chrishell? Just be like, hey, quick question.
I can't. She'll know. She'll be like,
wrong.
thank you, Mary. Thank you for always like having my back and just pleading the fifth. No, honestly, I think everybody. The question was asked on at the reunion, And so I think you have to watch the reunion to hear the answer to that question and some other questions.
So they're okay.
I know they would kill me. I would get in so much trouble if I gave away the info like before.
Just asking your opinion.
Time will tell.
Sounds like maybe.
Time will tell. I don't know. I hope so. I will leave it at I would love nothing more than for them to be together. I love them together, but I love them being happy and being true to themselves more than I love them being in love or whatever. Whatever you say.
Right.
What's been the key for you having a relationship throughout the show and, the show blowing up in such a big way and gaining momentum and being under the public scrutiny? Like, how have you been able to kind of like protect you and Romaine's relationship? And do you have any advice on kind of what you've learned in this really like high stakes environment about love?
I never really think about it too much, actually. Romaine is such a rock. I feel like we just are ourselves, and we're so busy all the time that we just cherish every single minute that we actually get together. And then we have, it also helps having all of our best friends around us that are going through this at the same time, because then they understand, they get it about what's going on. They have inside knowledge and the pressures of people always commenting, always having an opinion and putting lies out there in the media and stuff like that. And so we have a really good support group around us. So if we do have an issue or get in fights, it's like the first person Romaine goes to is Jason, because it's so funny, like where like he goes and talks to him because he knows like Jason always has my ear and vice versa, and he knows that Jason will know how to handle a situation with me the best and can give kind of a different perspective. And then same with Romaine, like where I'll talk to Jason about it too. I'm like, I don't understand like this or that. And he's like, okay. And because he's friends with both of us and he hears both of our sides and he's just like, he's such a supportive friend. And the girls too. Like we just talk to all of our friends about stuff if we have a problem, and everybody has nothing but love and support and good intentions to try to help us through it. But we really don't hit many hard times. I mean, we kind of laugh things off because we know that we're the ones living our life. People don't know, I mean, what happens behind closed doors and how happy we are or an argument we have and about whatever. We just live our life, really, and we've learned how to fight better too. Over the years, we realize we're stressed out a lot, and we get just on edge. And we, when we come home in a moment, we're like, no, like, and just like, just like let it out and vent to each other. And so we've learned, don't take it personally, because it's like if one of us isn't making any sense and it's not based on anything, we're like, sorry, you had a bad day. I love you, baby. Good night. And we just like put ourselves in corners, and we'll wake up and we're like, hi, honey. And we're better. You sleep on it. We're okay. Because it's not, when we do have arguments, it's not actually about anything. We don't argue about anything.
I have one more question before we get to,
Yeah.
you're gonna hopefully help us with we have this new segment we're calling Text Office Hours.
Okay.
People are gonna call in
Ooh.
yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
And we're gonna tell them what they should text in the
Okay.
middle of a fight or a conversation. It'll be fun. But before we get to that, I mean, you're a mom,
Uh-huh.
and you were a young mom.
Yeah.
And we talk about relationships and dating a lot on this show. But what advice have you given, or do you have for people, young mothers or single parents out there who are dating, who, maybe have some insecurities about that, or just struggles that come along with that? Like, what was that like for you? And what is advice, if anything, that you've learned that maybe you wish, like, I worried about this and I shouldn't have, or this is something I wish I was more mindful of that I didn't consider?
Yeah. I would say what I should have been more careful of, introducing people to my son, at like right from the beginning, and in my head, being young and dumb, I was thinking we are a package. We come together. So if you're not okay with it, bye. But in hindsight, I should have decided if the relationship, like, made sure it was very clear from the start, but make sure it's worth even, like, there's some sort of like stability in it first, before I introduce my son to them, because then it's like here's like revolving door or something, and
Yeah,
and I
that
was
makes
like, that
sense.
is not smart.
When
But I
you're
was young.
When you're younger, did you feel like that was more coming from a place of, like you said, like we're a package deal, so you almost
Yeah.
wanted to make sure they accepted both
Yeah.
of you, and it was almost kind of
Yeah.
seeing how they felt.
How they reacted to each other, if my son like hated them, or if they were just like rude or like dismissive to my son, and I'm like, no, this isn't going to be a good fit. So that was where my head was at the time, but I should have waited longer before introducing him. I just feel like there was a bunch of random people. Like, I mean, it didn't affect him, but just if I could do it over,
Yeah.
I would have protected him more from just like the 1 or 2 month like relationship kind of people. I'd go on a couple dates, like 3 dates or something, and then introduce him. And I was like, no, it could have been way longer,
Interesting.
like 6 months maybe.
For those of you who don't know, we're calling Audible today. We're starting this. We had this idea because of Allie. Allie, thank you. Allie had a dating situation. She was texting this person.
This person that I was like into, but from my perspective, like basically my perspective of the situation was like, it's dying, it's dead, how disappointing. And then it wasn't until I got Nick went through my whole phone and was like, no, you brought this upon yourself.
Well, first she sent the text. She sent us a screenshot, right, at first, and then she gave us context. And mine and Amanda's response was, fuck this guy, basically. Like, he's immature, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they came over, we were doing some work, it got brought up again. And I was like, so what's going on? And we got a little bit more context. We also found that the original screenshot that Allie sent us was altered. She deleted one of her responses.
documents.
I deleted one text. One.
I thought it was very relatable. But anyways, relatable, like she was self-conscious. It's fine.
Yeah, y'all are hard. Like, it's not an easy.
But then we got more context. And as we peeled back the layers, I think the thought was, maybe this isn't dead yet. Maybe you're like, basically, long story short, very relatable story. She had a nice date with a guy.
Mm-hmm.
After that first nice date, she knew she was excited about him.
Which is so natural and human.
It's very relatable, very natural. And then but she also chased a little bit. She set up this thing and he didn't respond the way she wanted. And my whole takeaway was like, all we know is he's not as excited as you are right now.
Yeah.
But if you really like him and you like him, what's wrong with pursuing him?
We came up with a text.
Yeah.
Got a lightning response, which brings us to this segment. We have a proven track record of success.
Allie went from thinking this was dead in the water to having a date tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
So
they saved you.
I guess.
Well, we got our second date.
Yeah.
So here we are seeing if we have the same type of magic. We don't know what all these stories are, but we basically, they want our help crafting a text.
Okay.
How's it going?
Hi there. It's going good, thanks. My name is Catherine. I'm 39.
All right, Catherine, how can we all help?
So I've been communicating with somebody for about a month that I met online, and we went out on a date. Everything went great. And following that, he sort of had some stuff come up with his ex and kids, which I totally understood. He kept me in the loop about it all. But I sort of put it in his hands to let me know when he'd like to get together again. I did a check-in yesterday because, he's been back in town for about a week. And I'm like, hey, when are we going to get together? And basically said, like, if the stuff going on in your life is too much, let me know. But I'm still interested. And if you'd like to get together again, let's do that. And he let me know that, yeah, maybe it's not a great time. Personally, just right now. And I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, this is probably going to be the last text I ever send to this person. And I'm wondering if it's like appropriate to say something along the lines of, are you interested in talking again when things clear up for you. If so, feel free to reach out, see if I'm still single, or if I should go down the road of like, I hope you don't think I was wanting like a serious relationship off the hop. Like I was just wanting to go on a second date. So like if your personal stuff is so big that that's not even possible, like, is that all just BS? So what I said to him was, I'm wondering if we're due for a bit of a check-in. Are you wanting to make plans at some point? Is the other stuff going on making this a bad time for you to pursue dating? I feel like I've been clear about my interest and appreciate your openness about the stresses you've got going on in your headspace. But I'm still wondering if you see things progressing here. I'm not trying to add pressure. I'd just like to know your thoughts.
How many dates have you had with this person?
How many days have I spoken to him?
How many dates?
One date.
You've had one date. How many times have you hung out other than just one date?
Or like
just
but been
one
in
date,
communication for a little bit?
FaceTime, phone calls, and like intensively texting for a month.
For a month. Okay. That matters.
Yeah. So then he said, you're not wrong. There's been bad timing in regards to prior life stuff that I'm heavily involved in due to my children. And the other is work. Work's more of a private life killer than anything else. I know I haven't given you the time needed as we started almost a month ago to see where things could or could go to. I've pulled back in my pursuit of that because until my old life matters are taken care of, this new life I'm working towards will not get the attention it needs. I'm so sorry, but I'm just not ready for this just yet in my life. I do understand if you ghost me or whatever it's called. So then I'm like, what am I supposed to keep talking to you then?
No. So like, here's what I think. I mean, you read it all, but you really focus on the word yet. And I think he inappropriately added that word.
To like soften.
To soften and gave you the maybe, gave you the false hope that I don't think is really there. You've only been on one date and I get you've been talking a lot, but like, I think you need to proceed with assuming this is just him deciding it's not worth it. And I think there's some sincerity when he's like, yeah, he probably is busy and there probably is stuff going on, but he doesn't like, that's not going to change most likely.
Yeah.
You know, like the shit we have like going on in our adult lives, it just, he wants to find someone he's willing to make exceptions for and put them as a priority despite this other stuff. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for you, it's not you.
I think he pulled a me, like where I try to like soften blows like to everybody, like where I'm like, I'm getting a point across, but I mean, the result's the same, but I try to do it where it's not going to hurt anybody's feelings and where it's like, no, there's all these other things. And you're right. I think he shouldn't have said yet. Like, I don't know if I'll be ready like to move forward. There's things I'm taking care of. I don't know if I will, but like, good luck or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel
honestly,
like that maybe we're wrong, but
I would
feel
say
like that.
no, we're definitely not. I don't think you need to send him anything. I definitely
You
don't
could like react.
I definitely don't.
Just like a thumbs
give him
up.
a thumbs up.
Curt
I don't.
thumbs up.
I don't think. Here's why I don't think you should. You should definitely not send let me know if your mind changes, some version of that, because that's going to put you in a very vulnerable state. Like that's like you're going to lose your power, so to speak, because in your mind, once you send that text, even if you like know that it's not going to happen anytime soon, there's going to be part of you that's going to put like, it's like start the timer. Like you're going to start waiting for him to like figure it out. And still in the back of your mind, always be hoping that maybe he will call, et cetera, et cetera. I think just for your own peace of mind, you got to accept that like, that's almost certainly not the case. And so if you're going to reply, I would just say some version of thanks for being upfront with me. Because at the end of the day, minus the yet, I guess he could have strung you along and gave you some other answer, but to say thanks for being upfront. And I really enjoyed my time with you and leave it at that.
Yeah.
This is what I think you should exactly send. Thank you for,
Please tell me.
I really appreciate your honesty. I really enjoyed my time with you. See you
Good
around.
luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Good
like
luck.
that.
Good luck.
See you around.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll see you around, or maybe I'll see you around, or something. Good luck is kind of jabby.
Take care.
Yeah.
Take care. I like
or
take care.
even maybe leave like the end of just like
Or just no sign off. Maybe
yeah,
I
just-
really enjoyed thanks for being honest.
yeah.
I really
Enjoyed
I
my
really
time.
I really enjoyed my
time with you.
Thanks for being honest. I really enjoyed my time with you. Send.
By just saying thanks for being honest and I enjoyed our time together. Listen, I'm not trying to give you any false hope, but I'm just saying you're going to leave a good impression.
Yeah.
As opposed to, in these moments, you do not want to validate their decision not to hang out with you any longer. So any kind of like, you know, like, thanks for wasting my time would be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I am good.
Dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Are you ready to send it?
Yeah, can we type it out?
Oh yeah. Well, this is a bit confusing.
Oh yeah, that's what you signed up for, by the way.
Because I also had said to him after he sent that, I was like, I actually did say thank you for your honesty. I can't really articulate a response right now, but I'll get back to you. And then, so now I'm just like, yeah.
I don't think you should send anything then.
Yeah, I think then that was a perfect.
You sent it.
Okay.
Oh, so just because you said I'll get back to you, leave him hanging. It's fine. He's not sitting around waiting for your follow up. I promise you. I hope. I'm sorry if that.
No, it's okay. I've realized that. I'm well aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks, guys.
I know it's hard out there, but
I really want to say though, like for the early divorced people, that all of my friends are in 10, 15, 20-year marriages. You're it for me as far as dating advice. So thank you, because nobody else can give me any practical advice because they're all married. It sucks.
Well,
where are the single people?
I appreciate it. Well, hopefully this was helpful.
It was very helpful. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Take care, you guys.
All right,
bye.
Bye.
How's it going?
Okay, pretty good. Thank you. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
My name's Kendall.
Hi, Kendall. How old are you?
I am 42.
Okay. How can I help? Or how can we help?
Yeah.
New dating relationship. And was online, took it offline. And good compatibility. This is after numerous dates. So finally found somebody that was compatible with. And talking about everything, marriage, trips, retirement. And so it's going really well. This past week, just communication's been kind of dwindling and distant. And I guess it's kind of like I would ask questions and there would be avoidance. I'm like, what are you up to tonight? And just kind of, because we would do nightly calls, like wine nights, and talk for 5 hours. Like, what are you up to tonight? No response. And so another time I said, why don't you follow me on Instagram? I gave him my Instagram handle. No response. And so the next calls were, I'm sorry, I'm so busy at work and I'll take you through my day. And anyways, kind of avoidance. So this last text conversation was, he gives me a lot of information and this then just trails off and doesn't respond to the, what are you up to tonight? So I guess, what am I doing wrong? Or what should my next response be? I just said, I kind of got frustrated and just said, nice, my last response.
All right. So here are the text messages with, you asked him, how's your weekend going?
Yes.
And then he replied back, and I think this is the detail you're referring to. Just dropped my son off. It was daddy weekend for me. We went to a park and got out of the house. Last night we watched boxing and UFC. I swear he knows what's going on. How was your weekend? And you reply, how cute. He's going to be a little boxer. Smiley face. My weekend's good. Went to a birthday party. I'm going to get a roommate, so sorted things out with them. Today's a chill day. Out walking and self-care. What are you up to this evening? And I'm assuming you're getting frustrated because you asking him is you're kind of hoping maybe he shows an interest in hanging out with you or doing something with you, is my guess.
Yeah, even if it's just a phone conversation, because this is kind of, we were kind of getting into details of talking. So just like we do FaceTime a lot.
Okay.
How long have you guys been seeing each other?
It's just about a month.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been on a few dates and you're FaceTiming a lot.
Right.
Okay. And then he replies back, I'm thinking about getting one in a year, depending on if I relocate for 2 or 3 more years to my next role.
Right.
What did that have to do with your question?
He was talking about a
I
roommate,
was-
right?
Oh, I think about
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
just wrote nice.
Oh.
Right.
because he responded to your getting a roommate and you wanted
Roommate.
him to respond to what are you up to this evening.
Right. The actual question.
I don't think you did anything wrong,
No.
but I think but if I were to like give a note, instead of like ask the questions you want the answers to. I mean, granted, you did want to know what he was up to this weekend, but what you really wanted to know was, did he want to hang out? Right?
Yeah.
And so I think in the future, that's the question you should ask.
Yeah, because so you're not disappointed that he's not
Yeah.
reading your
Right.
mind. Just be like, hey, you want to hang this week? Like what day would work
Yeah,
best for you?
Because
Something like that.
what are you up to this evening or weekend? I get it. Like it seems like it should be obvious to him, but he could
It was
just
a lead-in.
he could just be like, I don't know, this is what I'm up to. I don't have plans. We didn't have plans to hang out. And you wrote nice. So like he did respond to your conversation and then you just wrote nice. So what do we know? We know that he's like not super into like continuing a conversation. You're not at the forefront of his mind. Again, this kind of reminds me, it's very similar to the situation with Allie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's probably safe to assume that you're slightly more excited about hanging out with him than he is about you.
Yes.
That doesn't mean he's not excited.
But it's better to just be like open with that sometimes. And I think that's hard too, because you don't want to like, I don't know, you don't want to like open yourself up to that and be too vulnerable. But like
Yeah.
sometimes
Right.
it's more helpful to be like we were talking about on Friday, like, oh, I was really excited for this date and would love to plan something, as opposed
Yeah.
to like, what are you up to? Like just putting it
Mhm.
out there. And it's scary, but you're disappointed anyways because he's not reading your mind. You might as well be disappointed because you know the answer.
And also, I think like not letting like the fear and insecurity like overpower like the connection that you guys had, because then it's only been a month,
Mhm.
so you will automatically kind of start making someone take a couple steps back if they were interested. If they're like, oh, okay, well, I was with my son, I just didn't respond. And if you start getting like berated with text and stuff like out of kind of an insecurity, then it makes people take a step back. So I would just like be very just like
Mm-hmm.
kind of like
Free to FaceTime tonight? No? Cool.
Yeah.
okay, well maybe this week or
Mhm.
like maybe tomorrow.
Let me know. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
So when this came up, when we were talking with Allie, I asked her, like, why aren't you more interested in like why don't you just chase him a little bit if you know that you're excited about him? Which is a common question, because it feels like, listen, like more guys are comfortable with chasing. It seems like traditionally more women are used to being chased. There's
Yeah.
a whole like kind of societal kind of expectation that comes down from that. But
I can't chase.
Our-
Like
Mary gets it. The
no,
second
I'm
you
like
said
I
that,
can't
was
do
like-
that. Like, you know.
but I listen, like the game is changing, so we have to kind of
Yeah.
approach the playbook a little bit differently, you know?
It's
and
true.
like here is this guy, and again, he might be full of shit. I don't know. But he's like, I want to date more intentionally, you know, he's going through therapy. He could be in his head about like, maybe he's thinking to himself, I don't know, like I like her, but like, do I like her enough? I don't want to lead her
Right.
on. And he's getting all in his head about this. Maybe he's pulling back because he's thinking, I need to be in love with her, or I have to be really excited about her to chase her, because I don't want to be accused of, you know,
Leading her on or something.
or things like that. So it's like
Mhm.
it can get confusing for both parties. So
Yes.
I just think in these situations, and we kind of came up with this saying over the weekend, I think in today's world, the excited person should be the one who chases. If you know that you're excited about someone and it seems pretty clear that they aren't matching your excitement level, it's still early on. Like you could
can
go on
change
one
that.
more date and hate him, and he could be obsessed with you for all you know. Like
Yeah.
things can change so quickly
That's so
this
true.
early on.
Yeah.
But right now, you know you're excited a little bit more than him. So like on some level, if you want to pursue this, I think you should, I guess, chase or pursue a little bit. So like your next text message should, I think it should be pretty clear about what you want. And I think it would be something like let's plan how many dates have you actually been on?
If you're counting FaceTime dates,
No,
No, in-person
No.
dates.
in
Okay.
person.
Well, that's I'd say I'd say 2.
Okay, you've been on 2. All right, so only 2. So I would say, let's plan another date. I'd love to see you again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we decided like let's plan is great because you're not saying plan me another date or let's like something you're doing together. Let's
Yeah.
plan another date. What do you like?
Yeah.
And then you kind of like, when are you free? What would you like to do? You're both bouncing it. It keeps the conversation going.
Yeah.
You can
Right.
determine whether like they're, like, yeah, let's get together. Or if he says he's
Their
busy.
interests.
And now if you say, let's plan another date and you text that
Mm-hmm.
and he comes back with a vague response of some kind, like, not this week or blah,
This
blah,
week
blah.
is super busy.
This
I'll
week
let
is-
you know
I'll let
next
you know.
week.
Then I think it's time to like, because
Okay.
if he wants to hang out with you, he might be busy, but he'll say, oh, this week's really busy, but how about next week?
Yeah.
At a
Right.
minimum, he should give you a day, but like it shouldn't be
Yeah.
some other time in the future. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Soon is
Right.
not like trying to reschedule. Like
Yeah.
it should be, I can't this week, but I'd love to see you again. He should go out of his way to show that he is in fact at least wanting to see you again.
Right. Right.
And so if you want to hang out, like say you want to hang out, if you want to FaceTime, like let's FaceTime tonight. Like don't ask him, like I think that a lot of people in your shoes do that. You'll say, you want him to ask you. It's like, no, I want him to chase. I don't want to be chased. So like, I'll just be like, what are you doing tonight? Because like, I want to hang out because I want him to say, let's FaceTime tonight. And
I want
it's-
him to want to
Yeah.
to do it.
Just
Without
say,
me telling him.
Yeah.
you're just not, but it's just like, you're
Yeah.
like, just
Yeah.
say what you want.
And I was kind of wanting, after I asked what are you up to tonight? It was kind of a lead in, because if he responded, I would have said, FaceTime, what you want to FaceTime? But he just kind of disappeared.
Well, you wrote nice, which is kind of like passive aggressive nice. And he probably was thinking, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
I'll let her sleep this one off. She
she's,
sounds a little
she's
irritated.
in a mood. I'm not like, I'm just, and again, it's text message. We don't read text how people send it.
That's-
We read it how we feel.
Right.
So like depending on the mood he was in or the type of day he had, maybe that nice felt passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But you stopped texting and then he stopped texting. You could have just as easily responded back after that text when he said, I'm thinking about getting a roommate, blah, 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 blah. You could have said, let's FaceTime tonight. Let's grab dinner this week. Let's,
Yeah.
let's plan a second date.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You didn't.
Yeah,
You-
I wouldn't feel
Yeah.
bad at all about sending him a text like that. Just saying, let's plan a date this week when you're free. Something like
Right.
very easy. That's not being pushy. It's not being aggressive. It's not being anything. It's just if he's interested, he'll be like, Thursday, or how about
Right.
Thursday, or this week is swamped, but next week let's whatever day. Like, I mean, he'll
Yeah.
say that. Otherwise, you're going to kind of know if he's putting you off or not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But just be confident about it, and not like, not
I
really.
just think, this early on,
Yeah.
like, be careful not to try to enforce the expectations you haven't clarified with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
we like people, then we get all this excitement. We start expecting things from them. They have no idea what we expect.
You've already married in your head. I mean, but for most women, it's like, I mean, you're like, you've already planning the dress, you're planning all this stuff, and they're like, wait, what?
100%.
Yeah.
What's happening?
So if you are
Women are
aware,
crazy.
and it's like, it's okay to have like, hey, I want this I hope this happens. I hope this happens. But just be careful that you know the difference between things that you are hoping happens and things that you've articulated to them as like an expectation. You've been like, hey, this is what I expect, like
Right.
I expect a guy to do this, or this is what I want out of a relationship, and I don't do this or this. And if you've expressed it, then you can enforce it. And if you haven't expressed it, they don't know.
And I would say express it, like when you sit down, when you go on the next day or talk to them, do it over the phone, not via text, because like you said, like text messages come off harsh sometimes, or just like not as you mean it to come off. So I would do that part in person, just to
As far
just
as
to be
setting
honest about you, not anything with him, but just like, this is what you want and this is what you expect in a relationship. And so if he's cool with it, great. If not,
But I think your next text is, I'd love to plan another date. Like, let's plan another date.
Let's plan
Okay.
another date for this week. When are you free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's
Or
different.
I think
You've
with
got the
this,
whole week ahead of you. So he has
Yeah.
like 7 days to choose from. So
I don't. I think you should leave out the "when are you free" with the first text.
Just let's
Okay.
plan a date this week.
I'd love to see you. Let's plan another date.
Okay.
That's what you send.
Oh, that's good advice. I appreciate it. It's
Send,
It's
Are you gonna
hard.
send it?
Will you
Send it
type
now.
it
Are
out
you-
and send it
are
while
you,
we're
Are
here?
you gonna send it?
I will just for you guys. I'll do it.
Yay.
Send it. Send it
I'll
right
take
now.
the dare. Okay. I'll take the dare.
Okay.
I will.
good job.
All right. Well, let us know what happens. But
Send us an update.
again, see if he wants to plan the date, and then if not, then on the date, maybe you can do the whole check-in. Just be like, tell me what you like. I like you. What
Right.
want to keep doing this? Do you want to? But like you're analyzing his activity and then making assumptions about his interest, where you could just
Ask him.
ask him,
Right.
Yeah.
and he'll tell you.
I'm uh-huh.
You know, and he'll might throw in things like maybe, and and he'll give you the busy excuse if he doesn't, if he's not interested. So you already know what the rejection is going to look like. So
Right.
You have
Right.
nothing to lose.
you have
really.
nothing to lose, and you can just be like, yeah, he's busy. So
Okay. Okay.
that's what I would say.
Alrighty.
All right.
Good luck.
Hopefully that
Thank
was
you
helpful.
so much.
Yeah, let us know if it
It
works.
was.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Successful office hour sex.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna send. I want to make them send it.
I
feel
know it's
like
like
the new
everyone's like
rules-
super hesitant
I
to
feel
do
like
it.
the new rules is like, well, we don't want to scare them off, but we want to.
But why would what else are they planning to send? Like
Yeah.
she's
It's
gonna
like
send it.
if you're
What-
coming on the show, you know you need to send it. Like and that
Yeah.
you've been like anxious
But
and
we're
like trying to
helping
draft
actually make it a much better response than some long thing where they're like pouring their hearts out or something.
Totally.
It's like this is good for you.
And I think
Yeah.
all
Do
those
this.
little words matter. Like the reason why I don't think she should say like, when are you free? Because like, that's not the tone of that conversation. She's opening up a new one, and it could sound a little.
Okay, see, it's good
I'm
to get the guy's
nitpicking, but a
perspective
little
on this.
like again, he could just be, if I don't know this guy, it could seem aggressive to him, which I know is nitpicking.
Really? When are you free?
I'm totally nitpicking, but like you can.
I feel like because then he would have to say like, let's plan something, because otherwise he could just say, yeah, let's do that. And then it's like, then you have
When
to
are
still
you
say,
free?
okay, so when works for you? And then
Yeah,
you're still
give it-
asking it, but he could be very
Keeps the com-
evasive.
It keeps the conversation going.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
Well, again, like if he is evasive, then
Yeah.
you know.
Then you know, yeah.
But like, I'd love to hang out. When are you free? I'm just saying from a guy's point of view, it could come across as, I think it's the opposite. How like you always hear sometimes, like you've heard the cliche, like don't ask, just let's get together for dinner as a guy. It sounds more assertive. And, like Tuesday, and you're like, oh my god, I guess I'm going on a date on Tuesday. And I think it's because again the chasing part, but like
Yeah.
men aren't as used to being chased either.
Yeah.
So I think as uncomfortable as women can be with chasing, I think sometimes men
Yeah.
also
they like
can
it.
be. No, they can be. I think they can be uncomfortable with it.
Oh,
too.
really? For
So
women?
I don't, not always, but I think sometimes they can be a little,
Okay.
they can be like, oh, I should be the one chasing or whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, I think these old school stereotypes exist for a reason. Like, if women are so reluctant to be chased, which it seems to be still a common thing, I think a lot of men still are often not used to.
Being chased.
Yes, they
Yeah.
like to like almost push back a little bit, but like, oh well, I mean, like
Yeah, that's it. Like,
Wednesday, because I decided on Wednesday
Yeah.
because you asked for Tuesday. Like, I just think it's.
Yeah, because I think it's like comes with like the clingy narrative
Yeah.
of like wanting to kind of like shut that down right away and not create false
Ins-
expectations.
Instead of being like a powerful woman, like you know what you want, and like assertive, it's like, okay, well, I want to go on a date with you, so
Yeah.
we don't have to follow these old school rules.
yeah, this little dance
Yeah.
where I
But
pretend
I'm-
I'm like coy about it.
Yeah,
I'm-
then you could be like stalkish
I'm
or
gonna-
stalkerish and clingy.
I'm in a room with 3 accomplished, smart boss women, but all have acknowledged to me that they're like, yeah, but
Please chase me.
I like to be chased.
Please chase me.
Which is totally fine. I'm just saying, clearly we have like just years and years and years of like this, like this
conditioning,
is
like societal
this
conditioning.
is how we do it. And I'm just saying, men have also been conditioned to want to chase. So I just think, like, just understanding that gives them a little bit of room to feel like they're doing something. We're gonna wrap it up with some rapid fire, Mary.
Okay.
Just some fun questions about you and your castmates.
Okay.
But you have to give an answer.
Okay.
No maybes.
Okay.
Right.
Are
It's
there
really
going to
easy.
be someone here? Like,
No,
or you're like, she's definitely going to say
No.
maybe.
Who would you want to trade closets with?
Chrishell.
Chrishell. I feel like we all kind of guessed that, right?
Christine has some good items, though. She has some unique
They seem
stuff.
like specific to her Christine, where it's like, that might look good on you and it's flashy, but I don't know if I'd wear it.
Yeah, Amanda's is my best friend, and I still I can't pull that off. I'm not.
You're not going to do the long pigtails.
No, it just when I would look like I'm trying too hard. It's just not me. It's no.
Who would you want to be your realtor?
Jason.
What if it wasn't Jason?
Chrishell.
Okay. Who did you have the worst first impression of? They could be your best friend now.
First impression.
Like, who were you at first from, like, I don't know. Or then maybe they surprised you, too.
Chelsea.
Who's the most different from their public perception? You can include yourself in that, too.
It might be me, actually.
Why?
I guess at work and when I'm out, I'm very open and very on point and love to interact with fans and viewers and stuff like that. But I have I kind of have a little bit of social anxiety too. Only since I think the show started, because I didn't realize it before. There weren't crowds of people around, but but I can look like I'm one way, and I'm like, hey, because I want to make sure everyone gets a good experience. But then I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm like, oh gosh, and I have to go, and I like just staying at home, sitting there watching TV and hanging out with Romaine, just very, very private. But then the only time people see me on Instagram or anything like that, I'm out at all these events and stuff. So they have one perception of who I am and what I do. And then, but the real me is when all my work is done, I'm like, oh, I'm just chilling. I'm going to be in sweats and my hair is pulled up, no makeup, and I'm happy.
Who's the funniest?
Amanda.
Why?
Oh, that girl is a riot. She keeps me laughing all the time. She just is so quick-witted. I'll show you guys a video she did the other day. She just doesn't care about what anybody thinks or says. And she just is so quick, and her just energy is just so happy and just entertaining. She's a riot.
Who would you describe as your work wife or husband or spouse?
Jason.
We all saw that coming.
Yeah. My husband's okay with that, though.
He called you babe, Jason, on the show.
Oh yeah, I know we call each other babe all the time.
And your husband's okay with that? How is that? We actually had this conversation last week about when you're in a relationship, what are the boundaries when it comes to words of affirmation or other affection types of words of, I don't know, I'm an idiot, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, we have had that conversation before where Romaine has been I would prefer if you don't call him babe, because something came up where someone was mad about something. I was like, what, you don't care, do you? He's like, well, I would prefer if you guys don't do that.
It, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, I know you guys have done that since day one, but we all say it to each other. We if you're in a room, there's 20 people in there. We're like, hey, babe, 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 to everybody. So it's not one person, but then we also say, I love you. And so I'm after a while, but he says, love you, bro. So now we're just okay with it. But yeah, it's probably best not to say it.
It's always funny when you identify yourself as I'm not a jealous person.
Yeah.
But even when you say that, it seems like then you get tested for it.
Yeah.
It's you remember being well, I'm not a jealous person. And I guess I recognize I'm not actually worried.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd prefer you not to
Yeah. It's not normal. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I just don't I'm not worried about it.
But I'd love not to have even, I'd like to not ask myself if I should be worried about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. And final one, which is probably the most important. Who would you be okay with, or who would you prefer to marry your son? like obviously it's not
like
gonna,
not age,
Not-
kind of pending age
Heather.
situation.
Heather,
Who's
she's already married, but Heather.
but the personality
Ooh.
would be someone you'd
Heather.
Why
want.
Heather?
Why Heather?
Because she is like an angel. She is like the most loving, caring. She is an amazing wife, an amazing woman, and she just. I know my son would be looked after and loved, like every single piece of him, like until the day he dies. She is
What
a
a
very
nice compliment for Heather.
Yeah.
You're gonna be making vegan Thanksgiving though, every year.
That's okay. That's all right. Yeah, my son might not like it, but he'll get used to it.
Mary,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
What a pleasure. Where can the people find you on social?
The Mary Fitzgerald on, I think, IG and TikTok and everything else. I think it's the Mary Fitzgerald.
The Mary Fitzgerald. All
Yeah,
right. Any
that's it.
final thoughts you want to share with the audience before we let you go? Other than obviously watch the reunion.
Yeah, everybody watch a reunion. Keep binging season 5 so we can get a season 6.
It's not a certainty yet.
I thought you renewed for season 6.
I know it's out there a lot that we're renewed, but Netflix hasn't given a green light yet. But it's all based on the viewership.
Is that like number one on Netflix
Yeah,
right now?
so I mean we're pretty sure, but let's just make it solid.
Like,
You don't want to risk anything.
don't you want to be like,
Business
hey,
woman.
I know. I
I
want
don't
to.
know
I
if
want to
is
come
number
back
one
and
good
do it.
Netflix? Is it good? I don't know. Like,
It's all right.
It's okay. Well, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate
you.
it. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, review, 5 stars. We'd appreciate it. And anything else?
If you want help writing a text, join office hours.
Join office hours. Mondays around noonish is Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern is around the time we do this.
I think a lot of people could use help with this.
Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching, but before you go, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any future videos like our Mondays Ask Nick for your favorite relationship stories and advice, and our Tuesday Bachelor Recaps. See you next time.